Hola mi gente bella y bienvenidos a mi canal. My name is Sandra if this is your first time here, and welcome to my channel. In this channel you'll be learning and I'll be speaking about everything high-end or luxury candle making business tips. So in today's video this is also going to be another make something with me vlog or studio vlog. I guess it's not going to be a day in the life because it's not really a whole day in my life today. Although I could have probably done that, but I didn't because I had a lot of things to do today, and I filmed 2 videos today, so this will be my second one. The one that I filmed earlier today is going to be up in about, not next week, but the week after, and you'll see what I mean, why that video is going to take that long to complete. But this one will be up next week, and then I have one up tomorrow as of Wednesday. So I making this video because I got a comment in one of my videos. I do not remember which video it is, but I will be probably, if I could find that comment again, I'll put it down in the description box. Sorry, something just fell and it was just weird. I'll be putting it down in my description box or on the screen below so you guys can see the comment. And that comment was in regards to gel wax. I am not familiar with gel wax, so I couldn't really answer the question with my personal opinion. So what I did, I directed that person to Nature's Garden Candle Supplies, and they had more information in regards to the question that was asked. So the question that she asked, I can't really say word for word, but it was in regards to what fragrance oils to use with gel wax. And not all fragrance oils will be compatible with gel wax. The first thing that you need to do is make sure that that fragrance oil Flashpoint is over 170 or 170 degrees Fahrenheit or above, because gel wax burns a lot hotter and slower than regular waxes, so the flash point of that fragrance oil must be 170 degrees Fahrenheit or higher in order for that the heat of the actual gel wax will be able to be sustained by that fragrance oil. So the first thing that Nature's Garden's website advises to do is to obtain food grade mineral oil. And I was very curious as to know about gel wax. I didn't purchase gel wax because I'm not going to be making any candles with gel wax. But what I am going to be doing is testing a few of the fragrance oils that I do have to see which of those fragrance oils are compatible with gel wax. And I picked out a few of those that I own in my fragrance oil list of fragrance oil, and I have a lot of fragrance oils, but these are the fragrance oils that I tend to test my things with, or fragrance oils that I have as samples. And I'm not particularly going to use those because there are small samples, but they do smell nice. And those fragrance oils are 170 degrees Fahrenheit and above. And I do have one that doesn't have Flashpoint indicator, and I looked at the website and it was not there, but I'll get to it in a minute. But the first thing that the website suggests that you do, the instructions for the gel wax anyways, to make sure that your fragrance oil is compatible with the gel wax, is to make sure that, step 1, that all of the fragrance oil that you are going to be using is 170 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Said that already, gotta reiterate. Step number 2 is to test out 1 part fragrance oil to 3 part food grade mineral oil. You're going to shake that, and then you're going to let it sit for a few minutes and then see the cloudiness of that oil. If it is cloudy, then it is not compatible with that with the gel wax, and you must use another fragrance oil. And then the next step is to repeat the previous steps, but now instead of having 1 part fragrance oil to 3 part mineral oil, you're going to have 3 part fragrance oil to 1 part mineral oil. You're going to mix that. You're going to let it sit, and then you're going to test for the cloudiness. Again, if there is a lot of cloudiness in that fragrance oil, then you are not going to use that for the gel wax. So the first thing that I'm going to be using is, well, not using, but letting you guys know which fragrance oil that I'm going to be using is the following. So let me get those fragrance oils. So since I'm going to be using Nature's Garden's example or template or instructions on how to use the mineral oil and the fragrance oil to make sure that that fragrance oil is the best for the gel wax, is this fragrance oil that I got from Nature's Garden, and is called the grapefruit and lemongrass fragrance oil. And we're going to test that one, and this one is exactly 170 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to test this one because I want to make sure that 170 degrees Fahrenheit is adequate enough for the gel wax. The next one that we're going to be testing out is Candle Science Santal and Coconut. I hope I'm saying this correctly. Santal? I don't know. But we're going to be adding this one, and this one smells really, really nice. I don't smell too much of the Santal or Santal in this fragrance oil. Is mostly coconut. And this fragrance oil is 225 degrees Fahrenheit of a Flashpoint. And we're going to test out California Candle Supply Barrel Aged Cider. And this one has 200 degrees Fahrenheit Flashpoint. I don't normally order from California Candle Supply because they do take forever to ship to my area. I don't know if it takes forever with everybody, but for me, it just takes too long. So I don't order anything from them. And I just ordered a few fragrance oil samples because I wanted to get a fall scent, but because it takes too long, I'm not ordering from California Candle Supply. But I did have this scent, and I'm going to try it out. And I'm going to test out from Aztec Candle and Soap Supplies. It's Nag Champa, and this one has 200 degrees Fahrenheit of Flashpoint. And this one has a nice scent. I like the natural scented candle, so this is the fragrance oil that I got from them. Although I did not utilize this fragrance oil in any of my candles, but this is going to be a scent that I might be using in one candle, maybe in the near future, as a collection, because this does smell very nice, and Nag Champa is a very calming scent. And the next one we're going to be testing out from the Flaming Candle is Cashmere Cedar, and this one has a 214 degrees Fahrenheit Flashpoint. And I've ordered things. I've ordered wicks. I've ordered fragrance oils from the Flaming Candle, and they are very nice. And we're also going to test out the oat milk and honey from Brambleberry, and this has a Flashpoint of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And this one came in a kit. I didn't particularly like this scent because it wasn't strong enough for my liking, so this is why I did not use it in the kit that I had from Brambleberry. And this is my second scent from them, and I realized that their scents are very, very soft and not strong. Well, the ones that I've ordered anyways. So I have not tested or used, not tested. I have not used any of their fragrances in my candles. And then we're going to be testing out the Wooden Wick Star Jasmine and Santal, or Santal. I don't know. I hope I'm saying this correctly. And this has a flash point of 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And this one smells nice, but because the Wooden Wick Co's fragrance oils are so expensive, like I can't justify 1 gallon for $500 and that gallon to make, you know, a few candles from the Wooden Wick Co. If I do order a fragrance oil from the Wooden Wick Co., it's going to be for personal use and not to sell, because their fragrance oils are way too expensive for me anyways. And I've ordered from many other companies and their fragrance oils are nice. Their fragrance oils are very, very nice and they are strong, but yeah, they're too expensive. So not at this very moment. I'm not using any of Wooden Wick Co's fragrances at this time. Maybe in the future, but as of right now, I am not using these. And then I'm going to use white tea and ginger from the Bulk Apothecary. And I love the Bulk Apothecary. I do order a lot of fragrances from them. Although they are expensive, they're not as expensive as the Wooden Wick Co. But this one, the reason why I'm testing it is because I couldn't find the Flashpoint for this particular fragrance oil, and I do like the scent of it, but because I don't know the Flashpoint for it, I wanted to test it out, and I wanted to make sure that if I were in the future, or anybody in the future wanted to test out this fragrance oil in their gel wax, then they'll know if it's compatible with it or not. But I don't know what's the Flashpoint, so we'll know if it does work. Then it is 170 degrees Fahrenheit higher, or if it doesn't, then we know that it's less than 170 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the last one that I'm going to be testing out is pumpkin pecan waffles, or pecan, or is it pecan? We're gonna say pecan because I think it's pecan. I don't know. And the Flashpoint for this one is 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and this one is from Aromatics Fragrance International, and I love this company. And although they are pricey also, but you get more for more fragrance oils than the Wooden Wick Co. And sorry to say this, but yeah, the Wooden Wick Co is just way too expensive. There are certain things that you could splurge on, but there are certain things that you cannot. And if your fragrance oil costs way more than making a candle, then I can't purchase you right now. We're not that rich. We're not making that much money. So yeah, we're going to stick to what we can afford at the moment, and then we're going to scale up as our business grows. How about that? That makes more sense. So we're going to be using AFI pumpkin pecan waffles, and this is a dupe to Bath and Body Works, same name. And let's see how this works with the gel wax. And those are all the fragrances that we're going to be testing out today. And I ordered, and I had to wait a while. I had to wait a while in order to get the mineral oil from Bulk Apothecary, because they're usually very fast with their shipment, but for some odd reason it took a while. So I'm not gonna give them the fault. I'm not faulting them, but it did take a while, and they're usually pretty quick. So I ordered 2 things from them with this order. I gotta start opening stuff away from me, not towards me, because every time I see the videos when I'm editing it, Editing it. Okay, whatever. Whatever I'm editing it. Oh my God, I can't say that. I realized that I'm not opening these things correctly. And I realized that I am going to hurt myself if I don't cut away from me, not towards me. So I need to practice safety while I work. Let me see how much this was. I ordered 2 things. The mineral oil at 1 gallon for $18.79. So it was not expensive at all. And this is, oh wait, this is not it. This is my fractionated coconut oil. And this is for my perfume roll-on bottles. So I use fractionated coconut oil for that because I like coconut. Coconut is very nice, and it is not a real nut. Okay, I know some people believe that coconut is a nut, but it is not. It is not a nut. It does not belong to the nut family at all. Okay, so this one is mineral oil. Mineral oil is what we're going to be using for today's video. And again, this is $18.79. If you want to purchase a smaller version of this, you can. They do have smaller version, but the shipping was the same exact for the 1 gallon. So I was going to pay $8. I was going to pay $21 for shipping. So for the same size bottle, I mean for a smaller size bottle, so I was like, it makes no sense to purchase a $6 bottle when the shipping is $21 and 1 gallon for the same shipping price. So I mean, $6, I know it's way more, we're way less than $18, but I'm getting more for one shipment. So it's not about how much money it is, but it's mostly about how much you're going to get in the long run. So even if I don't use this mineral oil now or later, I still have this to do something else with. And I'm pretty sure something's going to come up that I'm going to need mineral oil. And guess what? I have it already here. So let's go over to my working area where I have more lighting. I was going to do it in my garage, but I was filming in there earlier. And it was a little bit tedious because, yeah, it was a little bit tedious. And now it's super hot in there because now it's the middle of the day and I am not going to stay in there with, you know, with my face on and it's hot. So we're going to my living room where I have another setup for this particular video. So let's get moving. Okay, so in front of me we have 10 containers because those are the containers that we're going to be mixing our fragrance oil and mineral oil together. And I'm going to use this to dump out the mineral oils after we do the first set, which is 1 part fragrance oil and then 3 part mineral oil. And I have the pipette, and then this pipette we are going to use 1 drop or 1 milliliter of fragrance oil, and then we're going to use it again, well, not the same one, but we're going to use another one for the mineral oil, and then we're going to use 3 milliliters of the mineral oil to make that first batch, which is our tester to see if that mineral oil does work with gel wax. And I went to go get this container because it is a lot easier to pick up the mineral oil from this container and not contaminate the entire bottle. So I'm going to be using this to pour the mineral oil in. And to make my life a lot easier, I'm going to just put the fragrance oil right next to each of the containers because I'm probably going to use the same containers again, and since I'm not going to label each of these containers, it's a lot easier if I just put these next to them so that I know which container and which fragrance oil I'll be using every time that I'm using the next one. And I don't want to get confused. So I'm only going to be using this one only for the mineral oil, and I'm going to just add mineral oil to each one so that I'll know that I already added 3 milliliters of mineral oil. And you could use any, excuse my washer machine, it's going on in the background. So you could use any measurement that you want, either ounces or grams or milliliters or pounds, just as long as the ratio stays the same. 1 part fragrance oil to 3 part mineral oils, and then when you're going to do it again, is 3 part fragrance oil to 1 part mineral oil. But because this is a very small quantity and this is only for testing, I'm only going to be using 1 milliliter and 3 milliliters. So let's start doing that. And I always make a mess. See, this is why you always have paper. This paper is expensive, so I should have just used another paper. Anyways, so now we're going to be adding the fragrance oil to each one, and then we're going to let it sit. But this one is, the moment that I put it in there, and this one is the Flaming Candle, the Cashmere Cedar, it was cloudy the moment that I put it in there. And if you guys could see it from here, and from my point of view, it is cloudy. It has specks of cloudiness, so this is not a good scent. And you can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh yeah, look at that. No, you guys can't see that. You can't really, I don't know. You can't really see it. It's not focusing at all. But this is very cloudy, so it's going to be a no for cedarwood from the Flaming Candle. And this one was another one, the brambleberry one, that when I did mix it, you could see that it's cloudy. Like you could see it from here. It is cloudy. So note for brambleberry. And then this one is the coconut, santal and coconut from Candle Science, and this one is not cloudy at all. So this one is a go. Coconut, santal and coconut from Candle Science is good to go. Barrel aged cider from California Candle Supply. Yeah, this one was good. It was good. This one is from Aztec, and this one is Nat Champa, and this became cloudy, so this is a no. Nope. Nature's Garden. Yeah, this came out pretty good. From Nature's Garden, the grapefruit lemongrass. This is a good fragrance oil to use for gel wax. The Wooden Wood Co. Star Jasmine and Santal. And this one was good to go as well. So it was not cloudy. And this one is from California Candle Supply. Oh, I wasn't going to try this one. Okay, well, it made it through the bunch. And this one actually worked. And the funny thing is about eucalyptus, it was 143 degrees Fahrenheit. So it actually did work because it's clear. But you can't technically use it because it's the Flashpoint was too low to use in gel wax. So don't use Eucalyptus from California Candle Supply because the Flashpoint was 143 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we're going to try Pumpkin Pecan and Waffles by Aromatic Fragrance International. And this one was good to go. It's not cloudy. It's good to go. And then the last one was from Nature's Garden. No, Bulk Apothecary, the white tea and ginger. And I didn't know the Flashpoints to this one. So because I don't really know the Flashpoint, I thought that because it was a lower Flashpoint, because if it could have been a lower Flashpoint, it wasn't gonna work. But it actually is clear, and I realized that the Eucalyptus was 143 degrees Fahrenheit for their Flashpoint, and it was clear as well. So it's not good to use it because it is too low of the Flashpoint, so it'll burn. The scent will burn before it even dissipates or disseminates in your home because it is too low of the Flashpoint. I thought that it wasn't going to work. It was going to be too cloudy, but because this white tea and ginger from Bulk Apothecary did not react as I thought it was going to react. So I'm not going to guess and say that we could use this in gel wax and pretend that it is 170 degrees Fahrenheit Flashpoint for that fragrance oil. So if you don't know the fragrance oil Flashpoint based on the manufacturer, then don't use it because the scent might not be strong enough for the gel wax. It's good for regular waxes, but for gel wax, if you don't know, don't use it. But what we are going to do is put it away and then try 3-part fragrance oil and 1 part mineral oil to see if it still works the same. So now we're going to add 1 part mineral oil to 3-part fragrance. Okay, again, the flaming candle. Yeah, the flaming candle, nope. It's a no. It's too cloudy. So, nope. Brambleberry. It's not as cloudy as it was when I had more mineral oil than fragrance oil, but I still wouldn't use it only because you're always going to have more wax than fragrance oil, so do not use brambleberry at all. Cyan, Candle Science, Santal, and Coconut, good to go. Barrel aged cider from California Candle Supply, good to go. The Nag Champa did the same thing as the brambleberry. It was okay with 3-part fragrance oil to 1 part mineral oil, but because it didn't work with the first round, which was 1 part fragrance oil to 3 part mineral oil. Do not use neck champa for your gel wax. Nature's Garden, good to go. The Wooden Wood Co., good to go. Eucalyptus, good to go. But again, don't use this one because the flash point is too low. AFI, good to go. And last but not least, ginger, white tea and ginger is also good to go, but because we don't know the exact flash point to this one, and I didn't see it anywhere on the website nor on the actual container itself, we are not going to use it. So yeah, nope. So now I'm going to clean up this area, and then we're going over to my office recording studio to let you guys know on my final thoughts. Okay, so with the results that I've gotten from the test that I conducted to show you guys, I found out 2 things. First, that even if there is a flash point less than 170 degrees Fahrenheit that is compatible with the mineral oil, it does not mean that you could use it because the flash point is too low to burn in a gel wax. And that, if you don't know the flash point of a fragrance oil, then do not assume that it is going to be compatible with gel wax, because as you could see that the 140 degrees Fahrenheit flash point was compatible, but it was just too low. So I was thinking that because it was I didn't know the flash point of the white tea and ginger fragrance oil, that it was either going to be good to go or not good to use, then that means that the flash point was 170 degrees Fahrenheit or above, that it was going to be good or not. But it was not something that I could really say 100% as fact that you could use. So do not use a fragrance oil that you don't know the flash point for, because it can and cannot be a fragrance oil that is suitable for that gel wax. And I also realized that the fragrance oil that is 170 degrees Fahrenheit, exactly like the one from Nature's Garden, it was compatible, versus the one from the Flaming Candle that was cashmere and cedar that was 214 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very high. It was not compatible, even with the 1 part fragrance oil and the 3 part fragrance oil. Neither one of them was compatible. But the one that was from Brambleberry, which was 200 degrees Fahrenheit, it was not compatible at 1 fragrance oil, part 1 fragrance oil and 3 part mineral oil was not compatible then, but then it was compatible when it was 3 part fragrance oil to 1 part mineral oil. So I would caution you in using that fragrance oil, because when you are going to use the entire gel wax, then you are going to be using more gel wax than fragrance oil. So don't use the Brambleberry, oatmeal, and I think it was oatmeal milk and honey. Yes, oatmeal milk and honey. Don't use that one from Brambleberry to use in gel wax. And the scent that was from Nag Champa, that was from Aztec Candles, and the one from AFI, they were both 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And Nag Champa did not work with the 1 part fragrance oil with 3 part mineral oil, but it kind of did work with the second one. However, like I said earlier, don't really use that one because it didn't work for the 1 part to the 3 part. So don't use that one. And even though it was 200 degrees Fahrenheit and the one from AFI was also 200 degrees Fahrenheit and the one from AFI did work. So you can't really base it on only the Flashpoint, because the Flashpoint doesn't necessarily mean that it will work. So you actually have to test your fragrance oils before you use it in your gel wax, because even though the Flashpoint is above 170, it might work. And as you saw with the others, as opposed to the other 3 that we mentioned, and even though it is less than 170, like the, which one was that one? The Eucalyptus from California Candle Supply, even though the Eucalyptus was 143 degrees Fahrenheit, it worked for the testing purposes, but because the Flashpoint was too low, I do not recommend using it because, again, and I'm going to repeat it again because I've said it before, that it is going to not work in the gel wax because that fragrance oil will not last that long, because gel wax burns a lot hotter and for a longer period of time. So don't use that fragrance oil. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell to be advised of all my upcoming videos. I am trying to upload all my videos every Wednesdays. If I cannot upload it on Wednesdays, I will particularly do it either a Tuesday or a Friday. So just tune in every Wednesdays around 6 p.m. to know of my upcoming videos or to watch my upcoming videos. So if I don't have a video, I'll probably have a community tab so we could take a poll or whatever, but I will try to make sure that I do have a video up every Wednesdays. So hasta la próxima. Let me know if this video did help you guys, and let me know if this video is something that you guys liked for me to do, to test out fragrances. And if you have any other fragrances that you want me to test out, let me know, because I do have a lot of fragrances that I can test out for you guys to see if you are using gel waxes in your candle making business. So hasta la próxima. Bye, mi gente bella.